Imagine you've been following the US immigration policies closely. Then all of a sudden now whiplash and 2024 hits you and you are realizing the amount of changes that have happened throughout the year. 2024 has by and large been the year that has seen the most controversial changes occurring in immigration. And what is so important about 2024 is that it is only setting the stage for what is about to happen in 2025 when President-elect Donald Trump takes office in January. Now, whether you are an immigrant yourself or you're just an immigration advocate or just someone that is looking at keeping up in terms of the current trends in terms of immigration, then this video content is for you. We are going to be looking at the 5 top changes that occurred in 2024 that has set a dramatic showdown for 2025 in terms of what immigration is going to be looking like. So stay tuned for this valuable content. Welcome back to the Next Level Life Hacks, where we take the next steps needed to grow towards our financial freedom and our success. 2024 has been a controversial year as we have mentioned, whether it be due to the political campaigning and landscape or the Supreme Court rulings that have occurred or just federal court appeals or decisions that have been made throughout the year. It has caused several ripple effects through the immigrant community. Now we are going to be looking at the most significant changes that occurred in 2024, 5 to be specific, with number 3 probably being the most outstanding one, so stay tuned for that one. Now the first change that we're going to be looking at is the expanded work visa program, and this is something pretty good, especially for the highly skilled workers. Now what we have found is that there has been an ease in terms of the process of application for the work visas, and there are specific categories under the work visa program that you may or may not be aware of, but for those technical viewers I'm going to be giving the specific categories for you. Now specifically we're going to be looking at the H1B, the H2A and the H2B work visas, and we're going to be looking at the changes that occurred in these categories. Now the first change that we're going to be looking at is that there has been an increased quota for the H1B visa, and this actually raised from 85,000 up to 120,000 visas that have been issued for this category, which is extremely good. And what is also significant here is that a new category was added, catering to healthcare workers. So if you are from other countries or islands and you are trained or certified in healthcare, then this is an avenue that you could explore to enter to the United States to get a work permit. Now, not only healthcare workers were catered for, you also have green energy specialists that were also included for a special category. So the impact of this is that industries such as technology, healthcare, and agriculture saw a boost in terms of the highly skilled workers that they were able to sponsor for work visas to enter into the country and to be employed in these industries. That drastically raised their efficiency, their productivity, and their overall profitability. Now, what is key here to realize is that oftentimes we think that changes in the immigration policies would be something negative, but this is, however, one true example that there are positive changes that occurred throughout 2024. The second change that happened is that there are no new restrictions on asylum seekers. What changes that there is no requirement that for persons seeking asylum within the United States, you have to get a rejection, or let's backtrack a bit. You would have had to apply for asylum in the third country that you had passed through before reaching the United States, and as I mentioned, gotten a rejection for that asylum before you can be considered for asylum in the United States. So take for example persons who have traveled from their home country and they traveled through the Mexico border into US. You would have had to apply to the Mexico government for an asylum and be rejected before then you could seek asylum within the United States. This has resulted in a drastic reduction in terms of the cases on file seeking asylum, and therefore it causes now less persons to be traveling to the US-Mexico border. Now the third change that happened in 2024, and remember I said that they might be the most significant one, is that a controversial decision was made in a Texas federal court by a judge ruling against the DACA program. Now what this put in motion is that no new application is currently being accepted for the DACA program. Only persons currently in the program can can apply for their renewal once their DACA permits expire. Now, what this means is that over 600,000 dreamers, as they are called, are now in limbo regarding their future and regarding their security within the United States. Now, this has huge implications in terms of the workforce, wherever these persons were employed to, their family life and family structure that they are involved in, the educational institutions that they would have been enrolled in. All these different sectors are now facing uncertainty regarding the future of these persons, whether employment or being enrolled in classes. Now, what is next is that the ruling is expected to be escalated to the Supreme Court for a decision, and there are some questions in terms of which way the Supreme Court will lean, especially as the perceived implication is there that the new president-elect has some influence over the Supreme Court. But that is yet to be decided, but that was a major change in 2024 that affected immigration. Now, the fourth change that occurred, and this was another good one, is that there are now streamlined citizenship processes for military members. Now, what this means is that for the active members of the military, they have now an access to expedited process for their naturalization so that they can now have the security of being an American citizen. There is one example of an active military member who actually got his naturalization process completed in 90 days as opposed to the usual 6 to 12 months that it would typically take for this process to be completed. So hey, this is another good thing that occurred in 2024 that has actually opened and improved the lives of some immigrants. The fifth and final change, significant change that occurred in 2024 where immigration is concerned, is that there has been an increased funding and technology usage at the borders. The federal government actually allocated $5 billion to Border Patrol to be used in technology improvement, including like drones and artificial intelligence that can quickly detect any unusual activity that is occurring at the borders. This actually resulted in a 20% increase in terms of detention and seize and hold of illegal immigrants at certain borders throughout the United States. So you can see that investment is going into border control and the seizing or the lowering of illegal immigrants that are entering the United States. And this is only set to be increased further in 2025 now that there is an increased focus on that area in the government. Now, in conclusion, what is highlighted and emphasized here is that there is now a change and a shift in the attention and the priority being placed on immigration, especially where concerned undocumented or illegal immigrants entering the country. There has also been an increased focus on border control so that the rapid flow of illegal immigrants flowing into the United States can be controlled on a better basis. What it means for you though is that there are also opportunities for highly skilled person or for active persons in the military, as I mentioned. So it is therefore not all bad news, but there are challenges and also opportunities for persons who want to reside and become citizens in the United States. What it therefore means though is that persons, one, need to get legal advice. Check in the description box for our consultancy agency if you want some advice as to what to do. What it also means is that you need to stay informed and up to date on any immigration or changes in the immigration policies that might occur so that you can react quickly. But I would not say that you react. My next advice is that you get proactive and get yourself documented or get yourself legalized to be in the United States. Changes have happened in 2024, which has signaled that more changes will come in 2025. So get yourself ready and protect yourself and to be more secure. As usual, my friends, if you know of anyone that might benefit from this information, please share this content with them. I appreciate you watching this video. I enjoyed spending this time with you and see you in the next video.